The local news is airing. They're talking about the weather. Again. He looks... Excuse me.
Hi, I'm Rosangela Blackwell. Do you work here?
Certainly do. Jim Peebles, senior producer. How can I help you?
So what do you do here?
I'm the head producer for the Good Morning Show with Kathy Carden.
Isn't that Tanya Corsi's old show?
Yes, it is.
It's pretty empty here tonight.
Well, look outside. The weather's horrible and almost everybody commutes to work. Nobody can get in, so we're running on a skeleton crew.
Did you work here when Tanya was alive?
Yes. Why do you ask?
I'm looking into her death.
Wasn't it an accident?
That's why I'm looking into it, just to be sure.
Huh. Well, all right.
Can you tell me about yourself?
Me? Well, what you see is what you get. I started working at a copywriter's desk about 30 years ago. Worked my way up to producer. Been here ever since.
Can you tell me...
Me? I started...
A note was found in Tanya's apartment. It was signed J.
And?
And your name begins with J. Did you write it?
Seriously?
You're in journalism. You know that any lead is worth following.
Well, sorry, I didn't write any note to Tanya. Not that I remember.
Can you think of it?
I can think of 6 who work in this office alone. I'm sure there are dozens more.
Can you think of any other J's who might have written that letter?
I can think of 6.
Do you know anything about the death of Peter Fielding? He owned a gym in Murray Hill.
No, although you've reminded me I haven't hit the gym in a while. I suppose I should go.
Do you have a record of a Jeffrey Dutta? He was killed in a hit and run.
Sorry, no.
Have you ever heard the name Benjiro?
Benjiro? No, I'm afraid I haven't.
What can you tell me about Tanya?
I liked her. Some anchors think they're the be-all and end-all, but not her. She knew we were all in this together and worked well with all of us. That's how you make a new show. Everyone needs to help each other.
Can you tell me anything else about Tanya?
Well, like I said, we all miss her. There's nothing else to say.
Do you know a priest by the name of Michael Cooper?
I'm afraid I haven't been to church in a long time.
There are tons of... There's the self-help circle that held meetings a long time ago. It was called the Grace Group. Ever hear of it?
Sorry, no.
Well, thanks for your time, Mr. Peebles. I might be back later.
Sure thing. I'm not going anywhere.
Looks like he's got a bunch of news wire reports open. Oh, and Minesweeper. I can't see any connection. If there's a connection, I don't see it. I don't have time to search all those desks one by one.
Can't touch it. She's sweating so much she didn't even notice. Hey, Peter?
Hey man, what can I do for you?
You ever go to the Carth House? Dumpy place in Chelsea.
No, sorry, I haven't been to the village in years.
You ever go to...
No.
So, you run this place?
Sort of. He built it when he left.
Well, I'll see.
You got it.
No connection that I can see. There was a Maggie Fielding arrested at the Carth House. She might be a relative of Peter Fielding.
Hey, Peter?
Hey, man.
So tell me about yourself, Peter.
I'm the guy who's gonna kick your butt into shape.
Ah, well, we'll see. You ever go to the Carth House? Dumpy place in Chelsea.
No, sorry, I haven't been to the village.
Did you know Jeffrey Dutta?
You know Jeff, too?
Not really, I just...
Good guy. Took care of my neighbor's dog when she was on vacation.
Did you know...
You know
Not really.
Good guy.
Well,
You got it.
Officer Palmer?
Yeah. What can I do for you?
Can you tell me anything about the death of a Mr. Peter Fielding?
Okay, let's see. Yep, there he is. Peter Fielding, age 54, owned a fitness center in Murray Hill called Field's Gym. He fell off a ladder while fixing a light bulb in the locker room, hit his head on the bench, and bled to death. Nobody found him for several hours. An ambulance was called and pronounced him dead at the scene.
Nothing more than that?
That's pretty open and shut. Accidental death.
Do you have a record of a Jeffrey Dutta? He was killed in a hit and run.
Let's see. Yep, hit and run, like you said. Technically, the case is open, but nobody has any hopes that it will be solved.
Do you have any record of a Heather Goffstein?
Let me check. Nope, nothing on Heather Goffstein. Sorry.
I'm trying to find someone named Benjiro. He ran some kind of self-help circle called the Grace Group.
Let's see. No, nothing on file. Sorry.
Do you know anything about Tanya Corsi's death?
Tanya Corsi? What are you doing getting involved with her?
It's...
complicated, yeah, I get it. Durkin warned me it might get weird. Anyway, there's not much to tell. She slipped in her shower and hit her head on the tub. She fell unconscious and she drowned. The coroner did an autopsy on her and found traces of whiskey and Valium in her system. Not a good combination.
She killed herself?
If you believe the tabloids, then yeah. But the coroner says no. There wasn't much in her system to actually kill her, but it was enough to make her a bit clumsy.
So it was just an accident.
So it would seem.
Is there anything...
I told you everything.
There are tons of case files listed. Do you have a record of a Michael Cooper in your system? He's a priest.
Let's check. Sorry, whoever he is, there's no file on him.
Is there anything in the system about a Jim Peebles?
Let's see. Nope. Whoever he is, he's clean.
Well, I'd better go. Thanks for the help.
Sure.
Joey, could you come out here?
Relax, I'm here. Hi there.
Hello again, mister. What brings you by?
Come on, tell me something about yourself. Must be nice for someone like you to be asked a question for once.
You've been doing nothing but ask questions since you came in here.
Fair point. I met one of your producers, Jim.
What about him?
Oh, nothing. I was just wondering what you could tell me about him.
I don't spread gossip, mister. Except when I'm on the air.
Do you know a Heather Goffstein?
No. No, I don't. Sorry.
Come on, that...
So, like I told you, I don't know any...
Well, Tanya, I have to get going, but I'll see you around.
Ta.
At last, you've come back.
We found one of the Grace Group spooks, Peter Fielding.
I see. Is he still intact?
Yeah, he tried to get me to join a gym.
I thought as much.
You thought so? What do you mean?
You know as well as I do, a spirit cannot be moved from this world until it is spiritually ready. It would appear that is also the case here.
But what about George and Leah?
From my understanding, they were aware of their death when they were taken.
Yeah, they were.
Then there is your answer. They were spiritually ready to leave this world, and so were vulnerable. This Fielding, was it? He is a lucky soul indeed. Until he is made aware, he cannot be taken. Not by you, or by anyone else.
So wait, this is our fault?
Whatever do you mean?
Leah, George. Just by trying to save them, we destroyed them.
I suppose. Yes, it could be seen that way. But please do not blame yourself. How could you have known?
Ignorance doesn't change anything.
Listen to me. Whatever or whoever is taking these souls, they were marked long before they died. All we can do now is move forward and save who we can.
You've been around the block a few times, so to speak. Nothing like this has ever happened to you before?
The destruction of the very essence of life? No. Such a thing is difficult to contemplate, and to witness it, even more so.
So what? We just leave the spook to rot?
Of course not. It has been known for some spirits to become aware on their own. The right face, the right moment, anything can trigger it. And if that happens to Fielding, no. Our duty is to save him, and save him we shall.
How? The usual rules have been chucked out the window. We make a move and he gets hammered, and we're not going to let that happen, not again.
It is a dilemma for certain.
We need to think about this, plan our next move.
Of course. In fact, I might have an idea along those lines. I must confer with my host. Please excuse me.
He's okay? Peter's really okay?
He is still deceased, but in all other respects, yes. He is as well as can be.
This changes everything. You have no idea. You two, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I never even considered that Peter's soul could be saved. And maybe Heather, too. Yes, Heather. If she wasn't taken, then her soul must still be lost.
And this is a good thing?
Of course. If a soul is merely lost, it still can be saved. And maybe so can mine.
So, what's your plan?
We are approaching this from ignorance, and possibly from fear. Before I was trapped in the void, I was a spirit guide for a very long time. I can learn much from a spirit by looking at it, and talking to it. If Fielding's soul still exists, then it must be brought here.
And Heather. Heather's soul must still be out there.
And her as well, of course.
Peter Fielding's spook is at the gym. It's not too far away. You can talk to him there.
Are you kidding? I step out of this circle, who knows what could happen? If I die, there's a good chance I'll be an aware spirit, just like Leah and George, and then...
Be at peace, my host. I would not ask you to do such a thing.
Well, thank heaven for that.
Besides, it is unnecessary. As you say, only spiritually aware souls are attacked. Since this Fielding is not spiritually aware, meeting him in his current state would be fruitless. We need to awaken him before I can determine anything about him.
Won't awakening these ghosts destroy him? Aren't we trying to avoid that?
Don't be absurd. We'll put them behind this circle. They will be safe there.
And how are we supposed to do that? Spooks like me can't enter the thing.
This might surprise you, Malone, but I did think of that. Come here. Take this.
What's this thing?
Call it a totem. It was made with some of my essence. The circle was created in much the same manner, so it will make a perfect focus. When you awaken a spirit, use the totem to send them directly here. They will remain safely behind the circle until we can determine the next course of action.
So I'll be trapped in this circle with Peter and Heather's ghosts?
I am afraid so, my host.
Well, I suppose it can't be helped. And I guess it will be nice to see them again.
Yes.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Peter? Anything that can help us?
No. Of all the people in our group, Peter was the one I spoke to the least. I think George once belonged to his gym, even took personal training sessions for a while. But George wasn't really the personal fitness type.
Is there anything else?
No. I think, but...
I need to know everything you can tell me about Heather.
Well, there was one thing. It was a confession of sorts, you see, and she trusted me.
What was it?
You don't understand. It was a confession. It might have been a long time ago, but it was still a sacred trust. I can't betray that trust. It goes against everything I believe in.
Don't you think that under the circumstances, she would understand?
I'm not sure God would.
Does it really matter? What's the worst that could happen? You lose your soul?
My God, when you put it like that. Heather was a prostitute. She wanted to confess, but didn't feel right entering a church. She might have been Jewish, judging by her name, but I think she just wanted to speak to someone who understood.
Understood?
Someone who had been to grace group meetings. Someone who had had a life-changing revelation, like I did. I don't know what her revelation was, but she wanted to purge herself of her old life. So she asked if I could come to her apartment and listen to her. So I did.
Do you remember where she lived?
I was a priest entering the house of a prostitute. It's not something you forget. She lived by Tompkins Square Park. Here's the address.
Is there anything else you can tell us about Heather? Anything at all?
I just know she was a prostitute when she went to grace group meetings. I don't know what's happened to her since.
I guess we should get going.
Then I do believe our talk is concluded. I will return outside.
Hey, Madeline?
Yes, my host.
It's all right.
All right?
Yeah, stay inside. It's cold out there.
I don't feel the cold, my host.
I know. Just stay, please, and thanks.
It is my pleasure, my host.
It's empty, thank God. Is that a genuine Ming? It must have cost... No, it looks... I don't even know what they are. If I switch... I don't have much...
Just old clothes. It's full of old clothes.
Hey, how'd you get in?
Ah, hello, miss.
Answer my question. How'd you get in?
Oh, the gate was open. Is that all right?
Sure, I guess. Just be sure to close it when you leave. I don't want to get in trouble.
Excuse me, miss?
Oh, hi. What's up?
You sure you should be out here?
Why shouldn't I be? It's perfect. It's so nice to finally have a night clear enough to enjoy this place.
Clear night, right. You live here?
I do. Why?
No reason, just making conversation. Is your name Heather Goffstein?
Oh, I see. You came from Ray.
Ray?
Of course. You did come from Ray, right?
Sure, Ray. Him and me go way back.
No, I don't think you do. If you want a date, you'll need Ray's permission.
A date?
Isn't that why you're here?
No, not at all. I just want to talk.
Really?
Really?
Well, I suppose that's all right, but we should stay out here. If we don't go in the bedroom, then it's not a date.
You don't seem terribly surprised that I'm here in your garden.
It is a bit strange you appeared out of nowhere, but hey, I'm used to men appearing on my doorstep. And for some reason, you seem safe.
Safe?
Yeah, just a vibe.
Huh. Thanks, I guess. So, tell me about this Ray character.
I really shouldn't. Ray is really exclusive with the clients we're given. I shouldn't have told you the name.
So,
Ray...
So, tell me a bit about yourself, Heather.
Can we not, please? Let's just enjoy the evening, okay? It's nice out here.
Sure, no problem. Do you know a guy named Benjiro?
I can't really say one way or the other. Sorry. I could get into trouble.
Do you know a guy named Peter Fielding? Runs a gym in Murray Hill.
I can't really say one way or the other. Sorry. I could get into trouble.
Do you know a Tanya Corsi?
I don't think so. Sorry.
Can you tell me about the Grace Group, Heather?
Grace Group?
Yeah, you were a member, right?
Sorry, I don't know what that is.
Come on, think. You met in the basement of Grace Church.
What, like AA? I'm not an alcoholic, thank you.
Well, Heather, I have to get going.
Sure. I'd leave the gate open, but for some reason, I don't think that will be a problem for you.
Just a dark hallway. I can't see a thing in there. I can't touch it. Can't see much, just a hallway, nothing important.
Ha! You're kidding me!
I am not. You will find out for yourself one day.
Hey, good to see you guys again. Madeline here was just telling me the funniest story.
My host, please.
Right, sorry.
Madeline?
Yes,
I've always wondered, just who are you?
Pardon?
Where'd you come from? Who you were before all this?
Tell me one thing. Have you ever asked your spirit guide the same question?
Yeah.
Has he ever given you a satisfactory answer? Precisely.
Joey told me about how you helped him out of the void.
We helped each other.
Well, even still, if you weren't there, well, I don't know what would have happened.
The hole in the universe caused by the severed link would have consumed you. Your mind would have collapsed under the pressure, leaving you a raving madwoman.
Right. Well, thanks.
My pleasure.
You once told me that you knew my Auntie Lauren.
After a fashion. While in the void, I could reach out to the mortal world in dreams. The minds of other bestowers were the most receptive.
Huh? If that's true, how come she never mentioned it?
Sadly, the memories of our meetings faded as she woke.
What did you talk about? You and Auntie, I mean.
You have to understand, she was dreaming while we conversed. Her mind wasn't entirely lucid.
So you can't tell me anything?
Nothing that would make any cognitive sense.
Do you know what happened to them? To Auntie? To my grandmother? They both went insane. They spent years sedated in a hospital. Do you know why?
I do not. I felt their minds when they went, but that is all I know.
I see. Do you think the same thing will happen to me? What happened to my aunt and grandmother, I mean?
I am sorry, I do not know. But I do believe your chances of safety are high.
You really think so? Why?
I told you. While I was in the void, I could sense their minds. I could sense yours as well. You are stronger than they were.
I'm stronger?
Not physically, or even mentally, but emotionally, yes. Your grandmother fled the duty. Your aunt performed it with only the greatest reluctance. But you have embraced it, thrived in it.
Well, it's what I do. I guess we should get going.
Of course. Keep us informed of your progress.
Father Michael?
Yeah?
Is there anything else you can tell me about Peter? Anything that can help us?
No. Of all the... I think George, but George wasn't really the person.
You knew George Austin, right?
Yeah, years ago. We went to the Grace Group meetings together. He was... God, you should have seen him. A total mess. He looked like a street bum. I don't think he'd showered in weeks. But that was George. He only put effort into the things he cared about. The Grace Group helped him find what that was.
I heard he became an art dealer.
Yeah, none of us could believe it. George, least of all. He always used to say that he would never have discovered his calling on his own, and he would have wasted his entire life not knowing. I used to feel the same way.
Leah was part of the Grace Group, right?
It was over 20 years ago, but yes. She was a secretary at the time, I think. She was childhood friends with George Austin, and she brought him to the meetings, hoping to help him out. Turns out it helped both of them. She quit her job and joined the police force. She said the Grace Group helped her find her way. I suppose until now, it did.
Did you know Leah's daughter, Kendra?
My God, I heard what happened. Madeline told me that her soul passed on peacefully, that she's where she is supposed to be.
Yes, she's fine.
I see. You have my thanks for that.
Are you familiar with Emil Haskins, Leah's ex-husband?
Sadly, no. Leah and I lost touch years ago. I didn't know she had even married in the first place until recently. But I feel for him. Do you know, there's no word for a parent who loses a child. The prospect is so unthinkable, we can't even name it.
Did Heather ever talk about Ray? Her, boss?
Sadly, no. I'm sorry.
Do you know anyone named Jim Peebles?
No, sorry.
Did you ever watch Tanya Corsi's show?
No, sorry.
I guess we should get going.
Godspeed.